Hello techies, welcome to AI Brahma YouTube channel. My name is Ganesh. In this video tutorial, we are learning about what is UiPath variables and its scopes. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get first notification to you. So without wasting the time, we will discuss about what is variable. Variable is the one which will hold the value or a data because the value stored in it can be changed or varied over a time. So simply if I tell variable is a one which will hold the data depending on the scenario. So example if I give, so if one person is working in restaurant as a servant, so he will get a variable salary as a tips whenever his service is good for the customer. But his fixed salary will be different, right? Maybe 10K, 20K, he will get it regular monthly salary. But tips is the one that will be variable. Today he may or may not get the tips, right? That particular thing, we will call it as a variable. Here in the example, I am showing as y equals to 5x plus a. Here 5 is a constant value as a salary, right? And y, x and a, it will change depending on the scenario. You can just push the data into y, x, a, right? This mathematical equation and you will get a result back as in a y. So this we will call it as variable basically. In our UiPath, we have a different section of variables, not only a variable which is available inside the scope or variable inside your main bot or a sequence bot. So we have a different types here. So user defined variable, global variable, constant variable and system variable. Today we will see user defined variable. In the upcoming videos, I will add other three different variables also. Please subscribe to my channel for all the related AI videos or RPA related videos. Already I have uploaded Automation Anywhere videos also. You can watch that way videos and interview scenarios, chat GPT scenarios, everything I have uploaded already. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notification to you. So without wasting the time, we will directly go to what is exactly user defined variable. So example, so I will directly go to our UiPath. So here in the UiPath, we will call variable or user defined variable for what means very simple. Just I will take a message box for that particular, okay, message box scenario. So now I need to store my name. Okay, example, my name is Ganesh. So just I'm giving as a Ganesh. So this we will call it as hard coded value, right? So we are not storing anywhere in this particular value. So if you want to store the value depending on the scenario, example, you want to take the name from the user, please enter the name, please enter your name like that. So at that time, we will take a input, right? Input dialog is the one. So just I will drag and drop input dialog. Here you can give a dialog title as RPA bot, okay? And label as please enter your name. So now, so whatever hard coded value I have, right? In basically what we have to do, we have to make it dynamic. To make it dynamic or depending on the scenario, if you want to save the name or show the name in the bot, then we will save this particular value inside the variable. How we can create this user defined variable? Why the name is user defined? Because we are creating, right? Users are creating this particular variable. So we have a string, we have a boolean, date and time, data table, different types of variable we have. So one by one we will see. Today we will see a string variable, okay, in this particular YouTube. So here what I have to do to create a variable, there is a two way we can create a user defined variable. One is you can directly go to the variable panel which is available downside of your screen. You can create here by clicking. Okay, so like this you can create a variable. This is one way of creating the variable, and you can change the type of variable. As I told, there is a too many types we have: boolean, integer, string, object, and if you need more than that, you can go to the browse for a type and you can get date and time, data table, or Google Map. So whatever maybe you want as a variable, right? So you can take it from this many different types of variable which is available in the .NET framework. Okay, and scope we will I will explain you in the later in this video. Just I will delete this one. This is one way of creating the variable. Another way of creating the variable is you can come here, click in the value entered, right? So basically where you have to save the value, that you have to give it in the value entered, or you can go to right hand side of panel, right, property panel, and you can just click on the output result. This is also one way of creating. So how we can create, just hit in your system or in your laptop control plus K, means control K, you have to click it. So hold the control and press the key. So you will get set value. Okay, this is the indication that you're gonna create a variable. Now, how to create a variable, or what is the best practices to create a variable? That is very important in the UiPath or RPA industry. So we will see what is the best practices we have, right? So one way of creating a variable is using a camel case. The basically camel case is the one you were always if you have a two words, means the first character of the word will be a capital letter, all other characters will be a small letter. So I will show you that with a demonstration. And another one is clear and meaningful name. This is very important. First one is camel case, another one is clear and meaningful. Don't give it A, B, C or something. Give a correct variable name. Example, you are taking a name from the user, means str name or str person name. Like that, you have to clear about your nomenclature system and assign the name in a consistent manner. Example, don't create 10 variables at a time, then use 9 variables or 5 variables, right? Whenever you require a variable, then only use the variable and reuse the variable. Sometimes you can use the variable reuse, right? Because what are all the variable you will create in the system, it will take a memory of your system, right? So that's why whenever you need it consistent mannerly, you have to create a variable. That is one best practice. And keep the variable name descriptive and short. So example, as I told earlier, this should be person name, means you have to clearly mention person name, not even name also, because name might be any place name or a person name or any product name, something, right? So you have to clear about your variable, and that should be very descriptive and a short, and you have to use a camel case for that. So these are all the best practices we have to use it in our uh, RPA process. Okay, so we will see how we can use in this particular scenario. As we discussed, our name should be in a camel letter, sorry, right, camel case. So how it will be? So basically the name, the person name, please enter your name, I am writing, right? The basically this one is a string, right? String is a one which it will hold the names, place name, address, right? So combination of your characters and number or a special character, this we will call it as string. So for string data type, you have to use str in a smaller letter, right, str. Then I need to hold the value of person name, right? So we have a person and name, two words we have. So that's why P is a capital, R S O N, all other things are in a small. Then you can use a underscore, but in a camel case directly you can use str person name, N is a capital. So this is exactly the format we have to use it in the RPA process. You can use other nomenclature of not only a camel case, you can use different cases also, kebab case, so many other types also there in a nomenclature of your variable. But camel cases is widely accepted from the users, means developers. Okay, so you can use the variable like this. Example, if you want to hold the number, so number means integer, right? Int person age, that is one of the nomenclature. If you want to hold the date, means dat, right? Dat is a date, dat date of birth, like this. So depending on your data type, you have to use a variable nomenclature. So after writing your name, just hit the enter. So once you hit the enter, the particular variable will be created. So how we will get to know that variable is created and what is the scope of that variable, right? Just go to the variable and you can see here in the variable panel, and variable type is string. By default, string will come. If you want to change it, you can change it by clicking on this combo box. Very simple. So now as of this scenario, we are using a string only. Person name is basically a string. So no need to change as of now. And what is the scope? This is very, very important in the UiPath, the scope of the variable. So example, here as of now, we have a scope main sequence. I will not change it anything. So now come to the message box. Now I need to show this variable inside the message box, right? I have hard coded the value as Ganesh, but whenever I will run the bot, I need to take the data from the user and I need to show that particular name in the message box. For that, I have to use a variable called str person name. What I will do basically, just I will remove this, okay? And I will mention hi plus str person name. What I'm doing, just I'm concatenating the two words, right? Hi, person name. Basically, what will happen? So we will run and see, okay? Just I'm clicking on the run. Okay. So once you click on the run, so you will get a pop-up like this, RPA bot, please enter your name. So now you will enter maybe Gautam, right? I have not used Gautam name in anywhere in my bot, right? It is not hard coded. So just click on OK. So once you click on OK, you will get a message called Hi Gautam. This is the variable, right? So if I run again, so again we will run it and we will give a different name. So now I will give Ganesh. Okay, click OK. Then you will get message box called Hi Ganesh. So this is exactly the variable. Depending on, it will store the value, and depending on the scenario, the value will be changed, right? It is not hard coded. This particular concept, we will call it as variable. Now come to the scope. Now I have a scope here for this str person as main sequence, but I will change this particular scope by, okay, just I will take another sequence here. Okay, sequence, drag and drop, and inside this sequence I will keep this input dialog, right? So now I will change this sequence name. Here in the property you can change it. This is input from user, like this I'm giving as a name. So now I will go to the variable and I will change the scope here from main sequence to your input from user sequence, right? Just I'm changing, okay? And come here and see now in the variable message box, we are getting the error. This is exactly the scope. The scope is a one, it is a boundary for your variable. Very simply, if I tell, it is a boundary for your variable. So I am giving a variable boundary for person name, that is input from user. Only in the input from user, that particular scope, this particular sequence, it should work. It is not beyond the input from users, outside of input from user, right? So main sequence is a one. This is also sequence. The main sequence is a one, that is a parent sequence, and your input from user is the one, that is a child sequence. Whenever you have created your variable with a parent sequence, means your outer layer of sequence, then outer layer means this is a first sequence, right? Then it can be, that particular variable can be accessible by any of your child sequence. Otherwise what will happen, it will be restricted to your particular own sequence or your child sequence. So here it is restricted to your own child sequence, right? But I wanted to get it to message box also. Then two way you can do. You can just drag and drop your message box inside your input from user, or you can change your scope in the variable panel as your main sequence. Basically, your outer layer of sequence will be last. Okay, here see, So main sequence is last, right? In the drop down of the scope, if you take the last sequence, that it will be a outer layer of the sequence, means you can access any of your variable in your particular main sequence or any child sequence with the particular scope. Okay, just I'm giving a main sequence now. Now if you see, my error is gone. So this is exactly the scope of the variable. So I hope you have understand what is exactly the variable basically, and this is user defined variable, means we are defining the variable, right? This we will call it as user defined variable. But we have another three types of variable: global variable, constant variable, and system variable. We will see these variable types, global, constant, and system, in the upcoming videos. Please be with me. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get next upcoming videos. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Bye bye.